Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballet Rain. Today, in honor of the Christmas holiday and Nutcracker season, we are sitting down in the box with you today, and we're going to build the ultimate FrankenNutcracker.
As you probably know, the Nutcracker is definitely a favorite ballet, especially during this time of year. And every single company around the world does the Nutcracker in a little bit of a different way. And I think with every single production, there's like one scene or one segment of the Nutcracker that they do exceptionally well, or that we subjectively like the best. And so today's video is going to be kind of like our Nutcracker Build-A-Bear workshop, if you would. And so we're going to be walking you through all of our personal favorite segments from the Nutcracker
and smashing them together into one ultimate FrankenNutcracker. Honestly, there are so many beautiful versions of the Nutcracker out there. And so we are excited to share a few of our favorites with you guys. And if you guys are excited too, then make sure to like the video, hype the video, etc., etc. And let's go. We'll go.
So welcome to the entrance of the Nutcracker Build-A-Bear. We're going to be working through this video in chronological order, going from the party scene all the way down to the finale of the Nutcracker. And we're going to try to keep to one company per section. We're gonna try not to do any ties.
We will probably have a few honorable mentions, but like just ignore that.
Starting off with our party scene. Yes. I think the party scene is definitely one of the more varying scenes. Most pieces of the Nutcracker kind of vary widely from production to production, but the party scene is almost like each company has their own narrative. Yeah. Sort of what happens in the party scene. The dolls can look different. Drosselmeyer can look different. He's portrayed in very different ways. And even like Clara, the way Clara is portrayed, sometimes she's played by a younger dancer, and sometimes she's danced by, you know, a principal dancer. Some people add magic tricks, some people add, you know, animals and other fun elements into this scene.
Royal Ballet is really good.
Costuming is really good in Royal Ballets. San Fran's party scene is really, really adorable. I think it really gives you the family aspect of the party scene, which is, I think, is really charming. But I think when it comes down to one of the most iconic party scenes of all time, I think we have to give it to the New York City ballets, the Nutcracker. Yeah. I think what stands out about it is that they use a full range of ages on the stage. They have Clara as a little girl, Fritz is a little boy, and then they have all of their cousins and friends, and then we have, you know, the aunts and the uncles and the parents and everything. And I think that just makes it feel very, very lived in and very real.
What I really like about the New York City ballets specifically is that they include Drosselmeyer's nephew, who becomes the Nutcracker prince later on in her dream. So you sort of have that continuity of everything that happened in the party scene kind of transfers over into her dream scene. You know, like after you have a busy day, you kind of dream about all the things that you did in that day. It has that same feel. Like, and I love the use of actually having Clara, or Marie as she's called, danced by a little girl.
I love that detail
all so the much. Use of children. I just love having children in the party scene.
I love it too. I love it
I think it adds like that realism. It also gets the kids involved. You know, a lot of times it's their first ballet that they're actually performing in, and that's super, super special.
It is special.
So yeah, New York City Ballet for party scene.
Love that.
Definitely highly recommend it.
After the party scene, we go straight into the battle scene when the clock chimes 12 midnight. There are so many amazing battle scenes.
Battle scenes, frankly, one of my favorite scenes of the Nutcracker.
Battle scene to the snow scene is definitely our favorite.
Okay, battle scene to snow.
That's the sweet spot. Favorite battle scenes.
Oh, as you'll recall from our Rat King costume showdown, costume-wise, we had to give the championship to the Boston Ballet
for their Rat
King. We actually haven't watched their battle scene, but from costume alone, that one's definitely worth a mention. Battle scene's very important because you get that iconic growing Christmas tree. You see everything around her growing, the Nutcracker comes to life. It's a pivotal moment. It's where the dream begins and her magical journey starts. So I have to give it, in terms of stage effects, in terms of just the way the portrayal and the magic of that moment, we'd have to give it to the Royal Ballet.
Full stop. Royal Ballet's Christmas tree scene. Insane.
It is insane.
That tree is colossal.
Huge.
Like, it is so big.
And like, if you've seen it, it's like on a trapdoor underneath the stage, and it like goes up like this.
It's so incredible.
It's just, it's huge.
It's huge.
And then like
all of the walls kind of move around. The whole room really shape shifts. So I think in terms of like magic and like the Clara's dream, especially because it's like the very beginning of the dream when everything's kind of still
like hazy.
Everything's kind of half reality, half not. It's kind of like blurring in and out. It really gives you that effect. There's smoke machines, there's cannons, and there's a lot of like interactive props on the stage as well, which again gives you a lot more dimension.
And going into the battle scene, of course, this is one time where I do appreciate the fact that Clara is danced by an actual ballerina and not just a student, because she can be very involved with all of the action.
It really feels real, and it kind of gives you a bit more of that action. Like if you were Clara, you'd feel what she's feeling rather than watching Clara, this little girl, go through this harrowing dream, but you're like an adult sitting in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Spectating.
That's true.
It kind of makes you feel like you're really there, feeling her
like fear or her panic a little bit.
Yeah.
Royal Ballet battle scene, transformation into battle scene.
That one is immaculate.
Yeah. Venturing deeper into the Build a Nutcracker workshop, we are now at our favorite section of the Nutcracker.
Ultimate favorite.
Ultimate favorite. And this is, of course, the snow scene.
This includes the snow pas de deux and the Waltz of the Snowflakes. Obviously, this is where the sort of the scary part of the dream breaks. Now we go into sort of the more, magical, whimsical rather than magical, scary part of Clara's dream. Honestly, if you kind of include the aftermath of the battle scene and like kind of say that's the pas de deux, Royal Ballet honestly could take this one again.
Okay, yeah, to be fair, that
Royal Ballet's snow pas de deux is incredible. I think that the dynamic is just so wonderful, and you just see that joy and that like sort of this elation.
Because the prince has just become like an actual human again. He's freed from his Nutcracker shell.
His Nutcracker
and so he's like thanking Clara, and she's like, oh my god, you're real.
Yeah,
and
I know.
It's just beautiful, and they're in the forest together. And that one recording of Marcelino Sambe and Anna Rose O'Sullivan is just lives in my mind rent free.
I know.
Technically, we could even give it to Royal Ballet.
We could give it to Royal Ballet, but of course we want to give us some variety.
Yeah, we need some variety.
Hear us out now. San Francisco Ballet.
Okay, and this is not even just for like the choreography, but this is also for the sets and just the sheer amount of snow on the stage.
I don't think I've ever seen a snowier snow scene in the history of ever when it comes to the San Francisco Ballet.
There is snow like in a pile on the ground.
Inches of snow.
Like actual like inches.
Inches of snow. You can see trails.
They're like trails of like the dancers' footsteps because there's that much snow.
That much snow.
And like towards the heavier section, like the more intense snow section where it really starts blizzarding, you can like barely see the girls all the way in the back.
Yeah.
Because there's that much snow.
And I think it's also owing to their sets. It's very minimal for the snow scene, but the illusion, they make it look like it just fades into just snowy hills in the back, and it gives you sort of that depth, and it really gives you that picture of like, wow, just like the endless snowy scene.
Like you can't even see, like
you can't
bad
see
visibility because it's that snowy.
You can't see through it, and it gives you that sort of like rapturous like
whoa, we're in it. We're
really in it. Going back to the pas de deux though, it kind of gives you the same vibe with the Royal Ballet, but instead of her being, an older, experienced dancer, Clara is still a girl. And her Nutcracker is like obviously, like a principal dancer.
Yeah.
Instead of more of like a romantic relationship like in the Royal Ballet, it's almost giving you like
benevolent guide, kind of like, oh, you saved me, let me take you to my kingdom. Exactly. It almost gives that vibe where he's like taking her like, you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Like come with me, we'll do something. It's so sweet.
It's a really cute dynamic.
We could wax poetic about San Francisco Ballet's snow scene.
The snow scene is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, and also just the sheer amount of snow.
The snow, you guys.
Like that alone would have sold it as our pick.
Yeah, that one's incredible.
Yeah.
After the snow scene, we have a little intermission. And when the curtain opened again, we're in the Land of Sweets. And we sort of have like a little intro to the Land of Sweets where we meet the Sugarplum Fairy and all of her court attendants and everything. And then we get into our divertissements, and this is where we're gonna pick up the timeline again.
Yes.
The very first divertissement is the Spanish dance, also known as hot chocolate. We did a video where we tried all the Land of Sweets snacks.
That was like 2 years ago.
That was a lot. That was an old video.
Yeah, like we looked
It is
different.
there. It is there. You can learn all about the symbolism of the different, Land of Sweets characters and what they represent in that video. But anyway, the best Spanish dance.
There are a lot of good Spanish dances, honestly.
There are a lot of good Spanish dances. NYCB had a good one.
Oh, yeah.
NYCB had a really good Spanish dance. It's so fast. Their production does a really fast.
Classic Balanchine speed, right?
When it comes to favorites, however, we have to give it to the Mariinsky Ballet. There are so many ways you can do a Spanish dance. There's sometimes it's a group. This one is just like a duet. You guys, it is fantastical. I love the pace. This one is still very, very, very quick, and the choreography is so dynamic.
And there's so many steps packed into each phrase in a way that both suits the rhythm and the melody. It's dynamic.
It's dynamic. Rhythmic. It makes sense. And it's so satisfying to watch, and it just makes you happy. It makes you smile. The energy is there.
I love that one section with like the little turny lift.
The twizzle. It's so much fun.
It's really fun.
It gives, again, it just brings the energy.
If you want fast, cool, rhythmic, exciting choreography.
Mariinsky Ballet.
As well as incredibly danced, let's be honest. Mariinsky, check it out.
So after the Spanish dance, we come to the Arabian dance, represented by coffee. And this one was honestly really difficult. There's a lot of interpretations of the Arabian dance. Sometimes she's a solo, sometimes it's a duo, sometimes it's a whole group. The story kind of changes depending on the production. As for our favorite, we're going to give it to PNB, or the Pacific Northwest Ballet. Although this one could technically also breach NYCB, New York City Ballet, because the choreography is exactly the same. It's the Balanchine version of the Arabian dance. But we're officially going to give the title to PNB because the interpretation of the Arabian dance, which is a solo by the way, instead of representing coffee, she's actually a peacock.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, the costume does just that, and it is absolutely exquisite.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like some of the older versions of the PNB's Nutcracker, she's in like sort of like this mystical rainbow silvery white peacock costume, and she has like the whole feathered headdress and the long tail and everything. And I think newer productions, she's in this beautiful striking blue and gold,
like really peacock
colors, and it's so cool. And this is a beautiful solo, you guys.
Yeah, maybe it's just the fact that it's a solo. I don't know. I think it just is very poignant. I mean, for the whole ballet, everything is very kind of like high energy and kind of exciting, excitable, whimsical, childlike sort of feel. So the Arabian dance kind of like gives it some contrast.
It's like mood, you know what I mean? Like the lights dim, all of a sudden we get this sort of melancholic feel. We have a lone ballerina center of the stage, beautiful peacock costume, spotlight on her, she's just a break, all of a sudden you're like, ooh. And because in the context of the rest of the ballet, which is so whimsical and magical, all of a sudden when it stops and you like slow down and just holds your attention the entire time. Yeah, we're always down for a long melancholic solo.
Between PNB and NYCB, honestly.
Costume-wise, it's PNB.
Costume-wise, PNB, I mean, both of them are wonderful, but PNB is especially really cool. We love the peacock element.
It's unique, and I think it's just a very beautiful portrayal of the score and of the divertissement in general.
from our Arabian dance, we have the Chinese dance, which is an iconic like 30-second burst right after our super slow and melancholic piece. Again, duality, contrast. We love it.
Yeah, we went from like slow, thoughtful, introspective to all of a sudden like boom, energy, tricks,
piccolos.
There are actually, I mean, it's a discussion in itself. Honestly, a lot of the Nutcracker divertissements are discussions in themselves.
They are, but we're gonna stay on topic
Staying on topics, enjoying them for what they are.
The Chinese dance generally offers a lot of opportunity for a lot of trick steps. Just because, you know, the music kind of calls for a bursting energy and levity.
And like articulation. There's like lots of pizzicato, there's the really fast piccolo stuff.
Yeah. So it kind of, I mean, it lends towards that sort of style choreographically anyways. PNB/NYCB have a really, really lovely Chinese dance. PNB has the male lead is kind of like represents a green tea cricket, they call him. Which is adorable. I think the costume is really cute on that one. I think, you know, symbolically for the Chinese culture, I mean, the cricket he's an icon.
He's been iconic,
And we just think it's really cool to see that represented.
And the costume's fun, and it makes sense that he'd be doing all these crazy jumps because
he's a cricket.
It's just perfect. It's adorable. It adds to that like just joyfulness of the divertissement.
Yeah, so that one really makes us smile. One of our favorite definitely has to go to San Francisco Ballet. This one is really unique because it has a full-on dragon dance involved with it, and that is such a cool element.
That's really fun.
Obviously, they have the dragon tamer, I guess you could call him, and he kind of brings like most of the dancing. Obviously, you see the tricks, which are phenomenal, and he kind of like carries that part of the show. There are a couple of other companies that do that. I believe Ballet West has one. Those are the two that are like so cool to see on the stage, and obviously
the green tea cricket.
Green tea cricket. Was
so
cool.
this might be a tie.
Why are we doing this? We're officially giving it to San Fran.
But honestly, just go watch all three.
But go watch all of them because they're all so fun and really whimsical.
After we have the Chinese dance, we're going straight into another very high energy divertissement. But another crowd favorite, I'd say this is the most highly applauded,
Definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, the most highly applauded divertissement from the Nutcracker. And this is, of course, the Russian dance. Any Russian divertissement that you're gonna see in any Nutcracker, they're gonna bring the charisma, they're gonna bring the energy, they're gonna bring the tricks, they're gonna make you clap in your seat.
It's kind of hard to pick a favorite when it comes to Russian because a lot of them, frankly, are very, very similar. And so they kind of like span, you know, most productions at a pretty even amount.
They're gonna have a lot of tricks.
Usually the male divertissement, predominantly male divertissement.
Like 3 guys or like...
Sometimes you'll have a girl in it as well.
Sometimes.
Favorites though. And it's just by a little bit. Just by a little bit. Royal Ballet. Royal Ballet just for the sole purpose that Clara, our protagonist, whom we have followed throughout the entirety of this ballet so far, gets to be involved.
Yes.
In the iconic Russian dance. They're literally throwing her around, tossing her in the air, and the energy is there. The energy is hyped. The Nutcracker Prince is also dancing in it as well. So it's kind of like this whole big, you know,
just celebratory
group dance, and it's so much fun. And again, it's just wonderful to see our protagonist kind of being integrated in the scene a little bit more, which the Royal Ballet does pretty much through all the divertissements. Like Clara is very much involved throughout the whole ballet, not just the party scene, which we appreciate. But yeah, the energy is so incredible through the roof, and it's just, I just love seeing them interact, and Clara just having, you know, the time of her life, because ultimately this is her dream. And it's just nice to see her really living in it. So yeah, Royal Ballet for this one. You literally won't be able to stop smiling.
This next divertissement has a lot of different names.
Obviously, the dance of the reed flutes, Marzipan, Mirliton, sometimes it's the shepherd/shepherdess and a sheep. And for that reason, we have a very vast variety of different divertissements under various different names. I believe the Bolshoi has the shepherdess and the shepherd and a little sheep. NYCB/PNB have Marzipan, but also reed flutes that they hold and play, which is really, really cute.
Really pretty.
Honestly, costuming wise, that one might be my favorite. That one's really, really good.
Royal Ballet has just reed flutes.
Yes,
and they actually have little flutes.
The little flutes, which are really, really cute. But when it comes to our favorite, you guys, we have to give it to the Mariinsky Ballet.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, this one is so cute because they use students. And they are little.
And they're amazing.
Amazing. It's a little pas de trois, so it's a little boy and two girls. And this is the cutest little divertissement. I think all the steps, all the choreography is very, very well suited. It's very understated, but it's also very clean, very proper, and it's just adorable.
It looks like, you know, a little shepherd boy and two shepherd girls.
Exactly.
They just happen to be made of marzipan, perhaps. And
yeah, exactly. And so the narrative is pretty open when it comes to that one.
And they have the little hats that are like atop their head, just slightly askew that way.
Yeah. It's so cute.
It's wonderful to see the young dancers take this divertissement, also because it's quite long.
Yeah,
and
it is very long. This one's honestly our favorite. Yeah. For, I mean, maybe not so obvious reasons, but it really is our favorite. I think it just fits. It just works, and it's perfect. Moving on to our next divertissement. A lot of productions omit this one, which is honestly kind of a crime. And this is the dance of Mother Ginger and her little Polichinelles, also known as the gingerbread divertissement. This one obviously goes to NYCB. I mean,
there's not a lot of companies that do this divertissement. I don't know why they omit it necessarily.
Maybe it's just too goofy.
Maybe it's too goofy.
Maybe it's just like Mother Ginger is like too hard of a prop.
It's quite difficult.
Yeah.
You have to have the giant skirt.
The giant skirt is quite a feat. I mean, is it harder than a growing Christmas tree? Subjective?
Perhaps not.
Anyway, with the current standing, our very favorite Mother Ginger and Polichinelles comes from New York City Ballet.
Yes.
Of course. Theirs is absolutely iconic, you guys. I love how involved Mother Ginger herself is with this dance. She's not just sitting there. She has this whole thing where she has the powder puff.
Yeah, and she's like fixing her hair.
Yeah, and she's dancing with her children, and it's so cute. It's very, very heartwarming. And the children themselves,
exceptional,
are doing all of these really quick steps and all of this really quick sort of partner work. And it's honestly the cutest thing.
Also color palette wise and costume wise. Love that Mother Ginger is sort of in this gingerbread color.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're all in like pink and blue silk, like icing. Yeah, like the sugar cookies or the icing.
It looks like, sugar cookies. Exactly. So it's very cookie.
Yeah, it has that sort of vibe.
It's incredible. It's just these little kids and they're carrying the stage of like professionals here.
Can you tell we love seeing children?
We love
in the Nutcracker.
Oh my gosh. Any chance we get to see children in the Nutcracker, we will take it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, honorable mention to
San Fran,
where they have the bear.
The bear.
Oh my god.
That one is cute.
That one's a really cool concept because Mother Ginger, the skirt is almost like a circus tent.
Yes.
The little children, instead of being gingerbread, they're like little clowns.
The little clowns.
They're in like polka dots and red and white. Those whole little bear comes out and
he's like kind of shy at first.
Yeah, and he's like looking around and he's like has a little sailor hat and like a little kerchief or something.
So cute.
It's the sweetest thing.
It's so cute, and then he kind of gets into it and then he doesn't want to leave, and it's adorable. And to drag him off stage.
And he's like looking back at the audience like, don't make me go, don't make me go.
It's so cute. So yeah, honorable mention to San Fran.
Is this the one where he holds his feet and he rolls around?
Yeah, that one is That's my favorite part of that whole number. Fine, we have a tie, whatever it is. Fine, it's Christmas. We're allowed to do ties. It's Christmas. So those are our two for Mother Ginger, and petition to bring Mother Ginger back to more productions around the world. We need her.
We need her. Moving forward to the, okay, I've said so many are the most iconic divertissement. We need to stop saying stuff is the most, one of the most, all right? If we're gonna be pedantic. One of the most iconic divertissements ever, and I think one of the most famous ballet pieces in the ballet rep in general.
And musical rep.
In general.
The Waltz of the Flowers, you guys. This is definitely one of the grandest, most lavish divertissements leading up to the Sugarplum PDD, of course.
I feel like every single company's flowers hits so hard because everyone knows it. It's so beloved.
It's one of Tchaikovsky's most famous works. That in itself kind of sets the standard.
Yeah, like you gotta go big for flowers.
You gotta go big for flowers. Royal Ballet has a really lovely...
Pas de deux.
They have like multiple pas de deux couples, and then they have Dewdrop / the Rose Fairy.
The Rose Fairy.
Which is really, really beautiful.
I love her choreography, by the way. Just like side note, the Rose Fairy. Is stunning. It looks really hard, but it's stunning.
However, the best, subjectively, best Waltz of the Flowers, we have to give it to, once again, the New York City Ballet. What are we even doing here? But their flowers, you guys, unmatched, unbeatable, unforgettable. It is absolutely incredible. The choreography, I think, but also the energy, the costuming is beautiful.
I feel like no one was surprised. I feel like y'all would riot if we didn't give it to New York City Ballet. Wouldn't you?
I think it's the most popular as well. I think if you go on YouTube, if you look up Waltz of the Flowers, New York City Ballet is gonna pop up.
That one version with Ashley Bowder.
Who does the best job in this, by the way.
Yeah, so we have like all of the flowers and they're beautiful, voluminous, romantic tutus that are tiered and ombre and everything. And then we have Dewdrop in her little sparkly mini dress.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little fairy.
Little sprite fairy among all the flowers, and she's showing us through the garden. It's just...
But anyways, this number is absolutely immaculate. I think there's so many elements in the choreography where it literally blooms. The formations are incredible, and obviously all of Dewdrop's choreography is absolutely stellar. She dazzles. She dazzles in this one, and it's so, so, so good.
Balanchine's choreography just rides on that natural buildup of the energy as the music just builds, as the music just soars, and the choreography soars, and just everything at the very end, they all run in, boom!
And it blooms.
And it's flower.
It's so good,
so good,
you guys. So anyway, when it comes to Waltz of the Flowers,
it's magic.
Yeah, it's literally magic.
Moving forward to another very iconic and probably the most prestigious part of the Nutcracker, and this is of course the Sugarplum Fairy pas de deux.
Yes.
There are quite a few different ways that this could go. It could either be sort of a divertissement for Clara's enjoyment, or as sort of her farewell parting performance. Sometimes it's Clara herself who dances the Sugarplum pas de deux with the prince. And that's sort of like it's
like their love duet. And in other versions, like the National Ballet of Canada and a few others, I believe, they'll have the Sugarplum Fairy dance with the Nutcracker prince.
Right, like they're a couple.
Like they were a couple, and Claire was the one who kind of freed him from being a Nutcracker to go back to being with her in the Land of Sweets. So it's kind of like that. There's so many different ways that these sort of like relationship dynamics can play out. But regardless, they're all very, very beautiful and very fitting in their own way.
If you were to ask my favorite version for Sugarplum PDD, and honestly, you can never go wrong with Sugarplum.
Yeah.
I would probably have to say Royal Ballet. It's just classic. I love the choreography and also just costume-wise.
Costume's gorgeous.
Costumes are beautiful.
If you watched our Sugarplum
Showdown. One of the winners for that showdown was the Royal Ballet. I feel like it's the epitome of everything that little Eden would have looked up to, you know, as a child. It's this magical pink tutu, all the sparkles in the background.
It's very iridescent.
Yeah, everything's very like shimmery, sparkly, and this gorgeous, beautiful, heartfelt pas de deux. Yeah. It's magical, and it's one of those things that really lasts in your mind as a child, and it's probably one of the reasons why a lot of little girls start ballet.
But of course, I think other companies have taken it and like, you know, created their own Sugarplum pas de deux as well.
I even think ABT's is quite unique.
ABT's is very hard.
It's insane
and very
hard.
Unique. Like I don't think any Sugarplum tops this one in terms of difficulty. ABT's is extremely difficult.
But in terms of like everything your inner child would have dreamed of in a Sugarplum, subjectively,
Royal Ballet.
Into the variations for Sugarplum PDD, starting with the Cavalier, I honestly feel like his choreography is exactly the same for every single production.
I think so too.
Which, I mean, you gotta say something. Like, for the most varied ballet in the world, Cavalier
He's a constant.
The sole constant in the Nutcrackers. The Cavalier stays the same.
Unless you're in NYCB, then he doesn't do a variation at all.
That's
true. I'm pretty sure. I don't even think you really see him in the beginning.
It's just her.
Yeah, it's just her doing the variation, and he literally just comes in for the pas de deux.
Fair enough.
He's a constant until he's not.
Yeah. So I would say it's almost not fair to pick one, just because
the Sugarplum Cavalier is always going to be immaculate.
Yeah.
Choreography is most likely going to be the same.
We respect him for being the one consistent factor. We need some stability.
And so we're going to honor that by saying all companies that actually give him a variation are fabulous. Merry Christmas. When it comes to the Sugarplum Fairy variation, the female variation, we have to give this to the Bolshoi Ballet.
For sure.
The Bolshoi Ballet, okay, there are very few variations of the Sugarplum variation. The Bolshoi one is so wicked hard. If you watch Nina, we'll put up some footage of her here. She kills it. This is like one of the most perfect performances like in the history of ever.
We should do a
commentary
on it.
Because she is absolutely incredible in this. But anyway, this version is so delicate and it's so light and it's so perfectly Sugarplum. It matches the music. Like the choreography and the music go hand in hand, and that's what we love most about this particular version. Like yes, all the Sugarplum variations match the music really, really, really beautifully, but the Bolshoi in particular I think is just special. For our subjective preferences, it's like butter and toast.
Yeah,
it's like cookies and cream.
It's a Sugarplum that will keep your attention the entire time and your jaw on the floor the entire time.
You will not be able to scrape that thing off the floor.
Like actually like stuck, like dislocate, just like boom,
it's there.
Just that stunning. It has some of the most difficult, intricate passages.
Yeah.
In just ballet rep in general.
Yeah, the transitions are really, really hard. The steps
killer.
Themselves are really, really hard. But when done well, it is perfection. It is so, so beautiful. It's my favorite version of this variation.
By a little bit. Honestly, you watch any Sugarplum, you can't go wrong. Really? But if you were to ask our personal recommendation, Bolshoi version, we'll let you watch it a little bit after this.
It up with the finale, and the purpose of the finale in the Nutcracker is kind of just to have a really huge party to send off Clara and to sort of bid her farewell from the land of sweets. So it's kind of like this big sort of like celebration
/ like recap.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll see all the divertissements from earlier in Act 2 coming back into the finale, and they kind of have their own little motif in the music as well. The final waltz is like, it's gonna be unique, but it kind of has the same format just because the music calls for it.
Yeah.
So they all have their own little designated slot. But at the end, like the final wrap-up sequence of the ballet, what happens to Clara after this dream, can vary quite a bit from production to production. There are some versions where she does wake up from the dream and it's like she's back in her living room, the Nutcracker is a doll again, and just kind of like returning to the real world, and it's kind of just a natural awakening. But the magic is that, you know, she and the Nutcracker have this little secret.
Yeah,
you know, they went on this big adventure together, and that's kind of like what the magic is.
It's like cozy and very childlike and wholesome and heartwarming.
Yeah, it's very tranquil. It's very cute. There are other versions as well where they have a sort of a bigger overarching story that unfolds throughout the entire ballet. The Royal Ballet does this, and also National Ballet of Canada.
Royal Ballet is one of our favorites, actually.
Yeah.
We don't have footage of it, unfortunately.
It's a tragedy. So sorry.
But you'll just have to take our word for it or go see it for yourself. But like the prologue actually starts with Drosselmeyer in his workshop, and he has the Nutcracker doll, and he plans to bring it to Clara in hopes that she will love it into becoming real life again. Turns out at the end of the ballet, obviously she loves him into real life. So at the end of the ballet, he actually walks back into Drosselmeyer's workshop as a real human being.
Yeah, apparently he's like his nephew or something.
His
like Drosselmeyer's nephew.
Or his son.
Or son, yeah.
And then they have this big moment and he hugs him and they're crying and it's all like emotional.
Exactly. It's like reunion.
Those kind of endings with like that fit the overarching story, always a personal favorite of ours.
Yeah, those are always really, really wonderful to see. But I think in terms of classic Nutcracker finales and endings, again, I'm so sorry we're gonna mention this one again. New York City Ballet. Can you tell how much we love this production, you guys? Their Nutcracker, I think it's just the beauty of this one is that after the grand waltz and the big finale and everything, when it's time for Clara to go home, they ascend in this adorable little sleigh.
Yeah.
Her and the Nutcracker prince, and everyone's waving, everyone's saying goodbye, and then here's the thing, the curtain closes on that happy note. We don't get to see the magic break.
Yeah.
It carries us off into it, and it's almost like you're living out the end of the ballet when you step out of the theater. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like gives you that almost like that gentle going out. It's not so like we break the magic.
Yeah.
Right when the music ends. You know,
it's like she's leaving and then the lights go on and then you leave. It's like, so it's time for her to go, it's time for you to go too.
It's very gentle. The magic goes out with you and you kind of like carry that magic with you out of the theater. And I think that's the lasting impression that really makes this particular Nutcracker finale.
There we have it.
That wraps up our ultimate FrankenNutcracker. Go ahead and watch this final excerpt, I guess.
May the magic go with you.
Exactly.
tour through the ultimate FrankenNutcracker Build-A-Bear workshop.
Yes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You guys are always asking us for, oh, what's your favorite parts of ballets from different productions? Here it is. I think the main takeaway from this video is just to go and explore your city, your area, the internet, if you can, to find different nutcrackers and just to watch and appreciate them this holiday season.
Yeah, I think a lot of the clips that we mentioned, not all of them, but a lot of them you can find on YouTube, and we included them purposely so that you can find as many of them as possible.
We tried, but ultimately, please support your local nutcrackers in your area, because you never know what new favorite items you will add to your own personal FrankenNutcracker that could be in your own city. So make it an assignment, go support your local nutcrackers, or at least scour the internet and support your virtual nutcracker performers as well, because
you never know what magic you'll find.
Exactly.
So go forth.
Go forth.
May the magic go with you.
Take the magic with you.
And may you find countless more nutcrackers
to watch and enjoy.
Yes.
With all of the people you love. Anyway, if you like the video, then like the video. And if you want to see more Nutcracker content just like this, we have a neat and tidy little playlist linked above and below for you guys to check out after this one.
And we want to wish you all a very, very happy holiday, Christmas Nutcracker season. We hope that you all are doing well, and we hope that you all will have so many reasons to smile and be happy and to enjoy this time by yourself, with your family and your friends, with everyone you love.
Thank you very much to all of our patrons for bringing us through the entire year so far. You guys have been amazing.
We really can't do what we do without you guys.
You guys are angels. You're our personal angels from on high. And so we just want to tell you thank you so much for your continued support. If you're watching this right now and you would love to become a patron and help support what we do on YouTube for you guys, then feel free to join us on Patreon at patreon.com/balletrain or at the link in our description box. And we will definitely look forward to seeing you over there.
Anyways, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballet Rain signing off until the next video. Bye.
I'm just hold up. Okay. Bless you.
Thanks.